So, Maison France's Kurkdjian has released a new fragrance. This is MFK 724. I've had this for about a week now, actually a bit over a week, about a week and a half. I was going to do a first impressions review of this, but I thought that it's quite an important release and I wanted to understand the fragrance before I did a review, so I've worn it kind of every day for the last week or so, and so I can give more of an in-depth review. We're going to talk about the fragrance, what I think of the release, the notes, if I enjoy it, if I recommend it. Enjoy the video. So, if you were unsure what 724 means, it basically is just French for 24/7. It might give you an idea about what this fragrance represents and the kind of story behind the release. We're just going to talk about the listed notes quickly. So you've got bergamot and aldehydes in the opening. You've got jasmine, mock orange in the mid. Mock orange is kind of like a white floral, think orange blossom type note. And then you've got sandalwood and white musk in the base. So in the opening, I've sprayed it on my hand. You don't get a sort of juicy, zesty bergamot. It's kind of just like a real light citrus smell. But the aldehydes are definitely the most prominent note in the opening. It smells very, very fresh, very clean. And I want to say it just smells white. Like it just smells like clean, white sheets, material. Just, it's very white and very clean. As you go more towards the dry down, you get the white florals come through, but they're not going to be very strong. It's not an overly floral fragrance. It's just going to be more of a clean fragrance right the way through. And then as you go into the further dry down, that's when you get the sandalwood and the musk. Now the sandalwood is there. I don't pick it up as like a real heavy sandalwood fragrance, but the white musk is again one of the most prominent notes with the aldehydes. And what MFK do in a lot of their fragrances, actually, they use a special type of white musk, or a certain type of white musk that is very long lasting, and that is what you get in a lot of their fragrances in the base notes. You might recognize it if you've got a few of their fragrances, and it's the kind of the smell that lasts the longest time. That is like the white musks that they use, and that's what kind of attach the fragrance to your skin and what gives it the longevity. I should also mention as well that in the opening you get a kind of sharp metallic note which adds to the freshness, adds to the cleanness of the fragrance, but again it doesn't smell all that citrusy. It's more just kind of, it's sharp, it's clean, and it's got that kind of metallic vibe as well. So what does this actually smell like? I think the best way to describe this is it does smell like fresh laundry. If you've got some white bed sheets and you clean them in the washing machine and then transport them to the tumble dryer, take them out, and that kind of smell that hits you, that fresh, that metallic clean smell, is what you get with this. I can't think of another kind of analogy that's best to describe this. It just smells very bright, very clean, and very white. So the idea behind the name 724, from what I've read, I understand it's associated to city life. Like if you live in a big city, let's just say for example New York City, you're busy all day, you're working hard, and you haven't got time to necessarily think about what kind of fragrance you want to wear. You haven't got time to take a travel spray with you and change your fragrance halfway through the day, or change your fragrance for the evening. This is supposed to be for a busy person who wants to just put a fragrance on in the morning and they can wear it to any occasion. It's going to be fine for the office, it's going to be fine for meetings, meeting people at lunchtime, going on a date at night. It's a fragrance that is good for all situations, in all weather conditions, and something that's going to last all day as well. That is what I believe the inspiration for 724 to be, and you can see like there's a city skyscraper on the back of the sticker, and that's what I believe the inspiration to be. So that should give you an idea about the idea that the brand had into creating this fragrance. Now, I've also heard from a few people and a few forums that they hope or they expect it to be a rival to Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm very, very skeptical about that statement for a few reasons. Baccarat Rouge 540 is a much more interesting fragrance. It's a fragrance that really kind of captivates people when they smell it on you. It's one of those fragrances that smell amazing in the sillage. How many people have owned Baccarat Rouge and have got compliments from people walking around the supermarket, just people they pass on the street, on a subway, train. People get compliments all the time for 540, and that is one of the reasons what makes it so special, because people love to buy fragrances that get positive attention. If you've had a positive experience of a fragrance and you've smelt it on someone, or someone's given you a compliment, that just adds to how special the fragrance is to you. But this, I don't think, is going to be as popular as Baccarat Rouge EDP, because this is more one-dimensional. It's not as interesting. The 540 EDP is a fragrance that it's very sweet and airy, but it's fresh as well. It's sweet and fresh. It's a fragrance you can wear anywhere, and it's a fragrance that is much more interesting, I believe personally, to this. So I do not think it will be a huge rival to 540. I think that Baccarat Rouge 540 is still going to be their most popular fragrance, but maybe I will. Maybe these words won't age well, and we'll have to see. Just to mention the pricing quickly, I'm quite impressed with the pricing structure of this new one. It's still, even though it's a brand new release, it's still cheaper than the Baccarat Rouge 540 by about, I think, $80 when I checked on their website. And normally when a big brand releases a new fragrance, they might put the price up, but this is priced quite respectively, I would say, and it's cheaper than, you know, the older releases like BR540, which I think is great. Performance wise, I know people like to talk about performance. It is going to be a good performing fragrance, not a beast mode, not anything that's going to project loudly, but as we discussed earlier, those white musks in here are going to really latch this onto your skin, and it will last for hours, but I don't think it's going to project that heavily, especially after the first 2 hours, but that's only on my skin. Of course, you might have a completely different experience with it, but it is long lasting, especially for a fresh fragrance, because of those white musks. Do I like it personally? I do like it. I don't love it, because for me, I prefer more complex fragrances. I love fresh fragrances, and if I was going to wear a fresh fragrance, I would either go for an oceanic fragrance like designer brand like Acqua di Gio Profumo, or you could go for Mega Mare by Auto Parisi, or I love citrus fragrances like Louis Vuitton Imagination, Mattia Premier, Cologne Cedrat, for example. This isn't citrusy and it's not oceanic, so in terms of like the two qualities I love in fresh fragrances, this is not that. This is just more of a clean white floral metallic fragrance, as we've discussed. But I think this is excellent at what it's trying to do. It's trying to be a fragrance, as we discussed, that you can just put on in the morning and not have to worry about it. If it's trying to be just a clean white metallic fragrance, then it's very good at doing that. And what I love about this is it's perfectly unisex. Sometimes it's hard to make citrus fragrances perfectly unisex. Sometimes they lean more masculine if they've got kind of aromatic notes in, and sometimes they lean more feminine if they've got those white florals. But this, I'm going to say, is 50-50 unisex, which I think they did a really good job in creating that. So just to sum up then, I do like it, I don't love it. I would recommend it to you if you haven't got any clean kind of laundry smelling fragrances, then I would certainly recommend this to you. I don't recommend it to you if you love Baccarat Rouge 540 and you want kind of something that's going to be similar. It's not similar at all, and it's not going to be anything that's new or groundbreaking or innovative. So make your own decisions. It's a new release by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It's clean, it's fresh, it lasts a long time, and the pricing is reasonable. Guys, hope you really enjoyed the video. Please let me know down in the comments what you think of this fragrance. Hopefully you get to try it. I would recommend always sampling it before you buy. I'll see you soon with another video. Take care.